Hey Internet, it's RJ. Thanks for tuning in to another show today. Now, today's episode, we're going to be talking about a bank that doesn't get a lot of attention here on YouTube, but they have found their way into the headlines over the past few weeks, and that is none other than BBVA. That's right, BBVA has a few credit cards, both personal and business side of the house, that are ordinarily limited to folks within that bank's footprint. However, it seems to be two things here. One, BBVA is starting to expand their reach, looking for new customer acquisition. We'll get to that in a little bit. And there's just been a merger finalized by the SEC where PNC has agreed to acquire BBVA, and that happened a few weeks ago. So in that context, I thought it'd be a cool idea to take a look at BBVA, put some spotlight on it. We'll go through their cards. We'll briefly touch on the merger. Then on the other side of this, we'll do the usual, who are these cards for? What do I think about them? And if their cards turn out to be favorable, we'll take a look and see if you should consider getting them now or waiting post-merger with PNC and what might happen there. So if that sounds interesting to you, go ahead, press that subscribe button, and let's get to work. Okay, so first up, let's just take a minute to familiarize ourselves with BBVA, as they're not like the Chases or the Amex of the world where they get all the coverage in the world. So first up, BBVA was founded March 2nd, 1964. Currently, they are the 39th largest bank in the U.S. by assets. They're operating in Alabama, Arizona, California, Colorado, Florida, New Mexico, and Texas. Again, more on this in a little bit. And our fourth point here, the one that's kind of got them in the news as of late. The Federal Reserve approved the acquisition of the U.S. operations of BBVA by PNC Financial. That was effective on May 14th of 2021. According to Reuters, and just a few fun facts there, this is going to be $11.6 billion cash purchase, and this is actually the second largest purchase since 2008, when we saw all sorts of folks getting bought up. So moving on to what you need to know about BBVA cards before we get into the cards themselves. So first up, the points. All of these cards are going to earn cash back, and as a result, this cash back is redeemable via their online banking portal or app. They have 4 personal cards and 2 business cards. And finally, application rules. Now, funny enough, there is 2 ways to apply. There's in branch, and yes, I actually mean in a branch. If you take a look at the website for that application, you can't actually hit apply. There's find a location. So you need to be in one of their states that they have a physical footprint in to actually go in and apply for the cards. Now, the other way you can apply for a BBVA card is to the point we made earlier in the video, and that is BBVA going after customer acquisition. That's the fact that they are mailing out invitations to apply to some of their credit cards. Now, again, we'll cover this more in depth when we look at the actual cards themselves. But this doesn't get you into all of the cards, and no, this is not as a luxurious invitation as the luxury black card invitation that we took a look at a few weeks ago. Link down in the description if you're interested in that video. But if you do get an invitation, you don't have to be in one of those states. I am sitting in Michigan right now, and I got an invitation to apply for one of their cards. So the rest of this video is going to focus on the cards themselves, and if one of these invitations shows up in your mailbox, is this something you should take advantage of or not? Now, again, when it comes to credit card rules, of course, there's usually more that's discussed on this slide. However, as you can see by their footprint and who they're going after, this isn't really a bank that we have a ton of data points about. So if you know any other rules, feel free to share them down below. But with that being said, let's take a look at the cards themselves now. Okay, so we'll start out with the personal side of the house, and we'll talk about the rewards card first. So very simple format here, no annual fee. You're going to get 1.5x on all purchases, or you could get 2x back on all purchases when you have monthly direct deposits of $1,000 or more in a BBVA account. On the bottom right hand of the slide, you will see the rules here, so you can see again, this is only available in those key states, but this is also a card that they are sending out an invitation for as of May 2021. Okay, so next up, the Clear Points card. No annual fee. And the multipliers here, this is a bit of a dealer's choice, right? So we have pick one category of 2x and pick another category that's going to give you 3x. This is quarterly, but the cool thing here is the cash back you earn each quarter on your chosen categories is unlimited. So let's take a look at the categories. So the options, they have business, retail, healthcare, entertainment, maintenance, dining, gas, groceries, utilities, and travel. And again, the Clear Points is available in branch or by special invitation. Now we move on to the fourth personal card, which is the Optimizer card. Very simple here. This is BBVA secured card, and this is going to be backed by a collateral savings account. Now we come to our final personal card, and that is the Select card. So annual fee here is $99. However, this is going to be waived in year number 1 for premium personal banking clients. Multipliers here, 4x on entertainment, 3x on dining, and 2x on travel. Benefits here, there are going to be no foreign transaction fees, and you are going to get a level of travel insurances. And again, we see here on the bottom left, this is a card that is only available in branch. You cannot get a special invitation for it, unfortunately. And lastly, let's take a look at the two business cards. So the business secured card operates very similar to the secured card we just looked at. No annual fee. Credit limit here is going to be 90% of your savings account balance. Multipliers, you're going to get 1.5x on all purchases, which is actually pretty nice because generally on secured cards you do not get any type of multipliers at all. So that's a nice touch. Benefits here, there's something called Visa Savings Edge where you can enroll your card and save up to 15% at participating stores, and you're going to get some level of travel benefits and insurances as well. This is also a card that is only available in branch. And the last business card we have here is the business rewards. So annual fee is 0. Multipliers very similar, 1.5 on all purchases. Benefits here are going to be the exact same. You get enrollment in the Visa Savings Edge and the travel benefits and insurances. Okay, so that was a look at BBVA's current catalog of credit cards for the personal and business lines. Now, I think here it's important to be careful how we proceed through the rest of this review, right? Because the knee-jerk reaction would be say, I can probably find you, in fact, I'm sure I can find you a better card than any one of these cards on their list. And if you went that approach, you would be correct. However, if you take a look at these cards and you take a look at how BBVA operates, then it's very easy to see these cards weren't really intended for us folks probably watching this and have multiple cards and are into that whole optimizing points and miles and that whole game. So as a result of that, I'm going to touch on this from both angles. So first of all, let's take the credit card enthusiast. Now, if you are a credit card enthusiast, again, you're optimizing points and miles, then no, there's not really much to be seen here, unfortunately. Even the sign-up bonuses aren't amazing, so if you're just someone bonus hunting, your time might be better spent somewhere else. You can get much higher rewards. Now, interestingly enough, though, the Clear Points, the card with the dealer's choice, that did have one interesting thing to me. I haven't actually seen healthcare as a category on any card that I can remember in the past. I mean, if I'm missing something, definitely let me know down below. But there is a very interesting use case that I could think of for someone playing a cashback system to go after the Clear Points card. So I'm thinking about someone with like a health savings account where basically you have to pay a certain amount of your medical expenses and then your health savings plan kicks in. I'm pretty sure that's how it works high level. I don't have one myself, so again, keep me honest. But if you have to do that, but if you're someone who's doing that, paying a lot of medical bills before your health savings plan kicks in, then the Clear Points card could be interesting for you because again, that is unlimited 3% cash back that you could get on a category that I just don't see covered that much. But aside from that, I think you can do better on all these other cards. But again, that's not really a knock towards BBVA because that's not really who they're trying to compete with. Yes, the Freedom Unlimited is better at 1.5 plus all those other multipliers than their 1.5x card. But again, they're not competing with Chase or Bank of America or Amex, so it's almost unfair to compare them to it, so I don't really want to go down that route. Okay, with that being said, let's transition to the other argument here, the other lens to look at. Let's say you are someone who lives in BBVA's footprint, you bank with BBVA, for example, or you're interested in banking with them, you have a relationship, then I don't think these cards are that terrible, honestly, because the person who's doing that really doesn't want 15 bank accounts. I have like 15, 20 bank accounts, and I have like 10 cards, but that's not everyone. This kind of person really just wants to have their bank account and then have a card that's linked to it, maybe 2 cards, and it's easy to pay things off, it's easy to see things in all one view, and there's definitely no shame in that and nothing wrong with that at all. And for that person, I think this card setup is interesting because again, if we take a look at the cards, the ClearPoint cards, what I'm calling the dealer's choice card that we just looked at, again, it's got a decent amount of categories and some that we haven't seen before. You have another card in the rewards card that's going to get you 2x back just for having the banking relationship and keep depositing your check there, or at least $1,000 a month, which again, if you're down this lens, then I'm pretty sure that's not an issue for you. So as a result, you'd still be getting the table minimum for cash back that we say is the minimum with the Citi Double Cash at 2%. However, with the Select card, it's a little more difficult. Now, obviously, if you have that premium checking account that they're requiring to waive the annual fee, then yeah, go ahead and pick it up. Now, on the other hand, if you don't have that premium checking account that they're requiring, then this card is definitely not worth the annual fee. You can clearly see here how it's priced and how it's structured. They want you to have the checking account because that's the only thing that makes this worth it. There are a lot better travel cards in that $99 price tier that bring you a lot more travel benefits, or that at least gets you something like a TSA PreCheck or global entry credit in year number 1. So again, to close that part out, for the BBVA customer, I don't think these cards are that bad considering who their target demographic is, and you can kind of tell by the fact that they want you to come in branch to apply. You cannot apply online, and again, the only way you can actually apply outside of those states is by a special invitation. So with that being said, the last piece of this is the PNC BBVA merger. So I've gone through a bank merger myself. I've gone through 2 full-on brand changes where you change the whole name and everything out. These things usually don't happen overnight. There's usually something called legal day 1, where what both banks do is they put their plan together, how they're going to merge and come together, plan to refresh all their branches, everyone's email, all the documents, things like that. Then that day is the effective day, and a lot of that takes a lot of planning and coordination. So that means to say this is not going to happen overnight. Now we usually see a few different things here. The bank can either just pull in the cards and kind of merge the catalogs, or they can just kind of transition those cards over to an equivalent that PNC would have. PNC does have some credit cards, so go take a look at those and see. Of course, there's nothing stopping you from applying to PNC cards right now either if you're interested in those. Of course, this probably just means I need to make a video about it, but in the meantime, if you're considering one of these cards right this minute, I would go ahead and still pull the trigger. You have to go in branch to apply anyways. I would just recommend asking the banker, hey, do you know what's going to happen? Right now, they'll probably not know, quite honestly, but as you get closer and closer, they probably will know and have a better understanding of what's going to happen. So that might be my advice without actually giving advice, I guess. So anyways, guys, if you like this one, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel. Posting content just like this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And of course, let me know what you guys think down below. Do you bank with BBVA? Did any of these cards kind of catch your eye? Did you come up with a use case that I may have missed for these? Let me know all the rest of it down below. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.